Hello guys, my name is kiminekyt and welcome you to yet another video, today featuring Sturer playing in a Sturer Emil, a German tier 7 tank destroyer that tends to get quite overlooked because of the fact that it's kinda slow. Seriously, the Sturer has troubles getting up to 25 kilometers per hour, which is sort of like a top speed for this thing, which also considering the fact that this thing is pretty much made of nothing else than glorified cardboard is kind of sad. However, there is one really good thing about this thing. Yeah, the gun is just absolutely amazing. The Sturer Emil possesses a tier 10 gun. Tier 10 gun that is put onto a tier 7 tank, which on one side gives it absolutely amazing alpha damage and penetration, but on the other side, yeah, it doesn't really have the greatest accuracy. On one side it has 490 alpha damage, which is absolutely amazing. It also has 232 penetration, which is also quite amazing, but doesn't really have the greatest accuracy of all of the tanks on this tier. It also doesn't really have the greatest DPM of all of the tanks. It pretty much just has the alpha damage and penetration. Well, speaking of penetration, right now we are gonna take a shot at the 25-2. And I got no idea how the hell did you just manage to bounce a shell on T25-2. You're just as surprised as I am at this point, seriously. That thing is a paper tank, and I got absolutely no, like, how the hell do you manage to bounce a shell from that thing? On that thing. It's almost impossible, but yet somehow you manage to just bounce. I got no idea. That's got to be the vacuum magic, seriously, that's got to be the vacuum magic. Still though, the Sturer is kind of a nice guy, gonna be a nice guy throughout this video, which considering the fact that I've seen about 30 replays today, out of which most of the people have been spamming gold, and the rest of the people have been major assholes throughout the video, yeah, that's kind of a rarity. Still though, the Sturer is gonna look up into the city and look at the situation over there. A shell into an unsuspecting KV-85 is gonna make it back off and die shortly after. Just look at the damage, 501 damage. Well, also remember how I said that it's almost a miracle how the T25-2 managed to block your shell? Well, right now you managed to somehow block 115 damage from the T1 Heavy. I know that the T1 Heavy with that gun doesn't really have the greatest penetration and also is a tier 5 tank, but still quite incredible to see this thing bounce literally anything. Oh, and here we go, a revenge on the T1 Heavy. Who's the boss now? Who's the boss now? Because the Sturer right now was able to get himself about 2000 damage. Above 2000 damage within just 3 minutes into the game. And remember, this thing is not exactly known for its DPM. Like, sure, it doesn't have the worst DPM, but doesn't have the best one either. Also, I should point out the fact that the Oni, for some reason, decided to just randomly roll through the enemy team. So though, right now we were able to finally finish off the enemy Oni. Well, not finally finish off, you just took your first shot and shot at it, yeah. Another shell is gonna go into the M4, get you the second kill of this game. We are gonna still keep on aiming through this tiny little gap in between the buildings in case somebody would decide to randomly roll out and give you yet even more damage. But I should point out one thing, and that is that the Sturer is already running low on the AP rounds. This thing has only 15 rounds in total, and the Sturer for some reason decided to load 5 high explosives, which means that the third of its entire ammo capacity were high explosives. I got no idea why I just did that, because, oh, that was yet another satisfying shell into that broken ass tier 6 Japanese fat ass heavy tank. Seriously, I hate OIs. Still though, the OI is gonna take your last AP shell of this game. You shot 10 AP shells throughout this game. Only 10 shots in a tier 7 matchup. And he somehow, well, not somehow, but you managed to get over 3000 damage. That's not something you see often, but that is the main strength of this thing. It doesn't really have the greatest DPM, it doesn't really have anything else but that amazing alpha damage and the penetration. It's a pretty powerful thing if you get into some kind of a field map, or even better, this kind of a map where it's like half hills, half field. Yeah, it's not really a full-on field map. It's like there's a significant portion of the map is a town, significant portion of this map are hills, and a pretty sizable portion of this map can be considered a field map. So yeah, we can really consider the field map. In my opinion, this map is like one of the most well-designed maps in the entire game. You get like everything over here. Well, speaking of everything, you even got two boats over here. The T-150, which doesn't move, doesn't do anything, and the MX ELC. Well, on one side, I do have a feeling like the MX ELC just somehow just crashed. It's possible. Oh, and here is the KV-2, an enemy howitzer approaching. The KV-2 at this point can one-shot you. That thing has 910 alpha damage, which means that if he hits you, you are pretty much going to disintegrate, especially considering the fact that you got almost no armor at all. This thing is an absolute paper, so if the KV-2 hits you, you're as good as that. Even if he low rolls terribly, it's still going to kill you. On the other hand, you get pretty damn powerful high explosives as well, but well, the KV-2 has at least some armor, so you're not really able to cause much more than 150 damage to it per shell, of course. But you're at least spawning for your team. Well, at this point I would even say that you're not really spawning for your team, it's the OI. But you are waiting for the KV-2 to turn around. It turned itself around. Come on, put a shell into him. How did you put the shell into the ground? Don't get me wrong, but I've seen how the reticule, how that aiming circle was above the ground. Yeah, I got no idea. Still though, the KV-2 is dead. That's all that matters right now. There's just one single enemy tank remaining, the M44, and you got one single shell remaining. You can pretty much one-shot it, but be careful though, because the M44 is an artillery, and you got no armor, so it can one-shot you as well. If it hits, that is. Oh, here's the M44, who is gonna shoot first. Oh, and the M44 managed to shoot first, but look at this. Where did that shell go through? Look at this. The shell just landed behind you. Still though, what an amazing game. G freaking G. And in the post-game stats, we may see what a truly amazing game this was, as Shixer was capable of getting himself 6 medals in total, 3 less rare medals and 3 more rare medals, one of which is the Faden's medal, which is actually quite rare nowadays. You also were able to get yourself a high caliber and a tank sniper. Kind of underwhelming result considering the fact that, yeah, you carried your team quite hard. But also considering the fact that pretty much half of your team was still alive, there was not much space for many more medals. So yeah, that is kind of saddening. Still though, 4,454 damage done, and a tier 7 German tank destroyer Sturer Emil is something that you don't see often. You were also capable of getting yourself 1,159 experience, which is not really all that rare, but it's kind of rare in this tank. You were also capable of making quite a bit of profit, but considering the fact that you didn't have to fire a single premium round, well, this tank never has to fire any premium rounds, you still made a decent amount of cash. You made nearly 60,000. Yeah, sure, you had premium, but even without premium you would make 40,000, which is absolutely amazing. Overall, oh my god, look at this. You had a couple of bonuses. First day bonus, personal missions. Yeah, 4,348 experience in total. That's pretty damn good. Still though, in general, that was a pretty damn good game. I definitely enjoyed watching it, especially thanks to the fact that you were a kind of nice guy. You were guiding your team throughout the game, and you weren't really too arrogant or too asshole-ish as most of the people that I've seen today in the previous replays. So yeah, thank you for this replay, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a like, subscribe, you know how it kinda goes. Still though, I hope you enjoyed, and I hope that I'll see you next time. Bye!